city of Chicago can rest assured.
Gas prices have recently soared, expecting to be the details as well.
I'm Ross Rangillian with You Need to Know, bringing you the information you need. Chicago, known for being the Windy City, the connections through O'Hare International Airport, the Sears Tower being the United States' tallest building, the home of the Cubs, Wrigley Field, and of course, Chicago pizza. All of these items represent only a small portion of why Chicago is a nationally recognized city, and it is with all of these special attributes which makes Chicago the city that it is today. This is the course that the Burnham Plan took into consideration, and that is making Chicago an amazing city by creating individually unique parts to represent the beautiful whole. In the mid-18th century, Chicago became an important transportation center due to the creation of the Transcontinental Railroad connecting the East and West Coast. With this came a flourishing new economy which drew in many new residents to the city. Chicago now has a staggering population of nearly 3 million people, making Chicago the third largest city in the United States. With this rapid growth of people came out-of-control expansion and the deterioration of the city. Daniel Burnham, an architect and city planner, recognized the problem of the lack of organization and the murky path the city was heading down. In response, Burnham devised the Burnham Plan to help address the issue of what the city of Chicago would look like in the future. The Burnham Plan was constructed during the 19th century during the age of urbanism and industrialization. The plan's main purpose was to create a well-organized, precognitive, and beautifully set Chicago to ultimately lead to be a finer city. The main drive behind this plan was the idea that a beautiful city would function more efficiently than an unappealing one. To gain credibility, Burnham pulled ideas from many previously established cities. The plan applauds Athens of Persepolis, known for the Acropolis, Rome's powerful architecture, as well as the attention to plumbing and sanitation, and most importantly, the plan models off of Paris. The reason Paris was a key component in the Burnham Plan was for how Paris grew from a well-devised plan and keeping a beautiful landscape element as a key component of the urban structure. From these influences, the Burnham Plan called for 6 main points to be addressed, including improvement of the lakefront, creation of the highway system, improvement of the railway terminals, the acquisition of an outer park system, the systematic arrangement of street and avenues within the city, and the development of the centers of intellectual life. The Burnham Plan not only had a huge impact in theory, but an even bigger impact on how the urban landscape of Chicago is laid out today. The Burnham Plan is responsible for the transformation of the lakefront, creating the Loop by organizing the central business district, building many beautiful parks including Jackson, Grant, and Lincoln Park, Buckingham Fountain, Soldier Field, and creating many public spaces including beaches, bike paths, Navy Pier, and most recently the completion of Millennium Park. Millennium Park sets the benchmark for how nature should be incorporated into the urban setting. The park includes an outdoor concert hall designed by Frank Gehry, a multitude of gardens growing native plants to Chicago, and of course the Beam, nicknamed for its shape, which is a giant reflective sculpture reviewing panoramic views of the city's skyline, along with distorting oneself. The phrase "organization is key" is a common saying which pertains to success. Without a plan, there is no recognized destination, and this is what it looked like in the beginning for the Chicago. The Burnham Plan not only pointed out the issue of the deterioration of the city, but also created a solution that worked. With this, the Burnham Plan is known as one of the most noted documents in the history of city planning, and when looking at Chicago today, it is apparent that it is one of the most successful. The plan called for an organization with beautification, and in the end led to one of the most influential cities in America. What is in store for the future of Chicago can be rest assured to stick to a plan and seamlessly execute its ambitions. And on a final note, bring the 2016 Summer Olympics to Chicago.